With the water chemistry in the pool, so we're going to do a chemical test on the pool, which this particular test should be done once every week to 2 weeks. In the test here, we've got step-by-step instructions of how to test the pool, which I'll run through with you now. So the first test we do is the chlorine test. We fill the small tube up to the line there. Now with these tests, get them as deep as you can in the pool. Normally go about elbow depth, right in, because if you get it off the top section of water, sometimes it just draws the chlorine out of the pool. Fill the small tube up to the line, then we add 1 DPD number 1 tablet. Without touching it with your hands, pop it straight into the tube. Lid on, and we swirl to mix it in. Mix it in and let it dissolve. Then we compare the colour in the colour here with the colour at the side. So ideal for us should be 1 to 1.5. So the colour in the tube here should be the pinky colour. At the moment we're really low in chlorine. 2 reasons, because the pump's been turned off through the construction of the concrete. And also what we'll do is in normal operation, you would jump on your chlorinator or on your phone app and you would increase the output 1 bar. Always just increase or decrease 1 bar at a time because it works on averages, and then test it in another week or 2. You want to try and keep the water in the tube here the same colour as the centre 2, so 1 to 1.5 all year round. Very important part of the pool for health and safety of water. Next test we do is the pH. We fill the large tube to the top line. It's got pH line written there. We add 1 drop of solution number 4, which is a chlorine neutraliser. It's labelled on there 1 drop, and also instructions in the lid as well. That just neutralises chlorine, takes the chlorine out of the water. Swirl to mix it in. Then we add 5 drops of solution number 2, which is a pH solution. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 drops. Pop the lid on. We swirl to mix it in, and then we compare the colour with the colour at this side here. So ideal for us should be 7.4 to 7.6. At the moment we're below, we're well below 6.8. So what that means is the pH is too low. So when the pH is too low, we need to add soda ash or bicarb soda. So what we do is we go on to the 4th test to determine how much we need to add. So if this test here was above the line, 7.8 to 8.2, then you would go on and do the acid demand test to determine how much acid we need. But because it's extremely low, which is quite unusual that it's low, most waters are high or in the middle. Because it's extremely low, we don't do the acid demand test, we go straight to the alkalinity. So to do the alkalinity test, we empty out the tube, not in the pool. Little rinse out of the tube. This time we fill the large tube to the lower line, the total alkalinity line there. Again, we add 1 drop of solution number 4, which is a chlorine neutraliser. Neutralises the chlorine in the water. Then we add 2 drops of solution number 5, which is a total alkalinity test. 2 drops. Swirl to mix it in. Now the water should change to a bluey purple colour, which it has there. Then we add 1 drop of solution number 3 at a time, counting the drops and swirling between drops until the water changes to clear or yellow colour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's gone to a clearer yellow colour and it took 5 drops. So we times it by 10 to give us our reading, which is currently at 50. Ideal for a fiberglass pool should be between 80 and 150. So when it's below that 80 mark, which it is now, we're at 50, we need to add buffer to raise that. I'll grab the buffer box and I'll explain how much. On the back of the buffer box, it's got written on there, we add 1 kilo per 50,000 litres. This is a 40,000 litre pool, so we'll add 800 grams, we'll increase the alkalinity by 10 to 15 parts. So we had a reading of 50, we need 800 grams, will bring us up to 60 to 65, 1.6 kilos, and so forth. With the buffer, when you're adding buffer, we need to get a bucket of water, mix up in a bucket of water, and then we tip it in front of the pool returns while the filter's running, and that'll distribute it through the pool. Also, when we add acid, you do that the same way. So you grab a bucket of water, pool water, pop away from your paving and surrounds when your paving's done, add the acid in the bucket of water first and tip it in front of the pool. Pool returns while the filter's running, that way it'll distribute it through. The reason you move the bucket of water away from your paving is because if you splash the acid out, it's a bit harsh, it might burn some colour out of your tiles and pavers, and just make sure you don't breathe in the fumes or splash it on your skin as well. If you've got sensitive skin, it can sting as well. With the acid, so just to recap the testing, with the chlorine, you've got full control over chlorine output by adjusting the output on your phone or on the chlorinator unit, which we'll show in a moment. With your pH, if that was too high, you do the acid demand test, which has got written step by step. And then with the acid demand test, to determine how much acid in the back of the booklet, it has an acid demand chart. So it's quite simple. If the acid demand test took 2 drops, you come down to 40,000 litres pool. Down to 2 drops, we would add 400 mils of acid.